Good evening. Welcome back to BoomerRexTonight, your nearly daily source for news and politics. Let me introduce Mr. Boomer Rex himself.
Good evening.
Asshole.
Hey.
And I am RisenLadyHeathen. What was that? You were like rocking at the beginning. Were you having like a moment?
No, just counting down the second.
You do know you don't need to keep track of that, right? Because I got it right here.
I know that.
Okay.
No, I'm just trying to encourage asshole to go nuts and do something in the middle of it.
He
This is my whole life. People encouraging me to do
Bad
something.
things, yes.
he does things to be
That's a good
contrary.
story.
So
You stick with
if you
that.
encourage him
Yes.
to do the things, then he's probably not going to do it. Keep that in mind.
There is that.
Yeah, there's aggressively bad. All right, so let's dig right in. A view from under the bus. Tell me about this.
Oh, well, again, as
Go
the
ahead.
January 6th committee heats up and various people get terrified and so forth, they start throwing each other under the bus. So today it was Steve Bannon's turn to get the view from under the bus.
Fair.
So anyway, Roger Stone blamed him for the attacks on January the 6th. And the quote is, it's highly likely that Bannon really gave the order to breach the Capitol and maneuvered patriots into dangerous positions.
If he did, we'll never be able to prove it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, that's a kid smart enough to pick up a burner phone.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is, Stone is saying, this is typical Steve Bannon doing crazy things to curry favor and so on. So anyway, but it's just fun to watch, right? It's kind of, who's going under the bus next. I love it.
Usually when rats are abandoning a ship, they aren't trying to trip each other.
Yeah. Right on the way out the door,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
They're not actively trying to throw each other into the ocean. So this
Yeah.
is...
They're trying to be the first one to get there.
Oh, yeah.
Turns out there are worse places to be thrown than under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll get around to that.
Well, and if any two of them were smart, they would get together and start having Trump promise that he's going to pardon everybody, and because I think that's going to be the race in 2024.
Fair. Now, do we want to talk about Joe Manchin cock blocking again?
For anybody
Joe Manchin is the
who
worst
thought
human
Joe
being on
Manchin
the
was a
face of the
Democrat,
earth.
right?
Does he still?
So
have
he's been
commitments?
negotiating all week. They had what looked like a framework for getting approval, and then he walks away and he goes on Fox News and said
Of course he did.
it's not a deal. So I think it's time to call Munchie what he is,
Yeah,
which is a
he's a
Trumpista.
Yeah, he's
So-
a Trumpista, and he's not a fucking Democrat. Fuck
Yeah.
him.
So he
He's
can
a
go live on
terrible
his house
person.
vote. Let's make sure he doesn't get reelected.
I agree with Bernie Sanders. Schedule the vote. When he doesn't do it, strip him of his committee holdings. That will guarantee he
Absolutely.
switches teams. We'll lose control of the Senate. But
Yeah, at least we won't have a cuckoo, bird hiding in the nest anymore.
Yeah.
Because that's what he's doing right now. He's pretending to be a Democrat, and he's fucking not. Like, aggressively not.
Well, and then make sure he doesn't get the Republican nomination, or that if he does, that no Democrat in West Virginia votes for him.
yeah,
So, anyway,
no, I've seen lots of really good ideas of it's West Virginia. And you could have Elizabeth Warren when she's done having COVID down there, explaining about all the good stuff that's in the Build Back Better.
yeah,
Because his constituents wildly support this, or at least the ones that don't own a coal company.
Good idea.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
And that's his
what this is.
real fear, is any restriction on coal, because that's where his fortune is.
No, not even
So-
restriction. This is like when Amazon refused to put the air conditioners into their warehouses because it would cost $52 million, and until the math changed and it started looking really bad in the press, they were saving $52 million on a rolling basis.
Yeah.
So no, because I'm sure his big objection is the methane thing, and he was gonna pay to help him get that under control.
Yep.
And now, when it comes to energy companies, you're talking about the most profitable endeavor ever undertaken by humans.
So anyway, that leads us right into, it's about goddamn
Okay,
time.
so let me introduce this. Mr. Boomer Rex's newly christened segment about damn time, because we've been doing this a lot, and every night it's a different story.
Oh,
So we are now going to call this a segment. And so now go ahead and tell your story.
All right. So anyway, we're looking at, okay, we lose the West Virginia senatorial seat. Then we probably ought to be looking for a Senate seat to win, right? So there's a fellow named Lucas Kunz, who's a Democrat running for the open U.S. Senate seat in Missouri.
Oh, yeah.
Missouri's on the list of 10 Senate seats that might be flipped. He's the leading fundraiser in our party. And holy crap, here's a guy who's not going to do the traditional Democratic go along, get along crap, right? He's former military, which puts him squarely in that range of who you'd like to run, right? And a lot of what he's doing is trying to take back the populist messaging, right? And I love some of this. It's time to start nation building here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? And again, that's the Trumpistas stole all of that populist
They stole it
messaging
before then.
No,
and then
they've
just
been
sold
for
it
a
to
while.
their
Taken
just sold
under-
it to the big Republican donors, right?
Makes
And
sense.
anybody who thinks that Trump and the Trumpistas have been good for working folks is a fool and doesn't know what they're talking about.
Well,
So-
I think that they've been pointed down inappropriate routes that supposedly were meant to help, the middle class, but ended up helping rich people, right? So they're thinking.
You mean
that
like
these
Trump's
things-
middle class tax cut that the top 1% got 87% of that one?
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, but they
No,
think
this-
that was helping them,
Yeah.
even if it
Again.
didn't.
No, this is the
They were-
definition of stupid.
No, but-
it's you didn't
Yes.
read what happened.
Americans are stupid, universally.
But
So,
they were convinced that this was for them, so that's what they believe, and nothing.
No, the Republican
everything else is
solution for
just-
20 years
Everything else is just
is to
fake
have the
news
billionaires pay the
and
millionaires on
liberals.
Fox News
Yeah.
to tell working folks that black and brown folks are the problem.
They
Right?
hired,
Find somebody for them to hate because they
They-
really like to hate.
hired marketing to rebrand trickle-down economics.
Yeah.
And
And
we
they just
calling
keep
for it.
calling for that. Anyway,
The
so
country we do. Like, there isn't. It's not like just they're gonna starve when the food sources dry up here,
Yeah.
or the bees die. We lose a third of all food globally.
so top priorities for this guy: ending the corporate monopoly domination of our economy,
Okay.
abolishing corporate PACs to safeguard democracy.
I like the first. I like how both of those sound. I would love to hear more, but I also get
Yeah.
he's running for something. So
Yeah. Anyway, well, so far he hasn't taken any PAC money. He
Oh, yeah?
hasn't taken any big oil money.
Yeah.
He's raised twice as much as his nearest component, and he's done it all with small donations.
Yeah.
So this sounds like an actual Democrat. He's going to scare the living snot out of Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
So anyway,
All right.
so
So
it's about goddamn time.
yeah, no, I'm.
Wake the hell up, Democrats.
Yeah, no, I think that's hopefully that this goes somewhere, right? Like
Yeah.
that would be amazing.
Yep.
So Michigan school shooting, the madness continues. What
Oh,
is going
God.
on
I
here?
just-
This is
I had
crazy.
given up. I wasn't going to do the Michigan school shootings
No, but
again.
this was no.
And
when
then I
read-
find out a middle school teacher is expected to be arraigned Monday because she was shoving handwritten violent threats under the doors at her middle school. And it was all on the surveillance camera. God, first of all, there are probably easier ways to get a day off. And second,
Right.
I'm sorry, but if you didn't know there were surveillance cameras, you're an idiot.
yeah,
Right.
So
Well, and of course she knew they were there. She obviously didn't care. I mean, come on, you can't.
I would
that
doubt
dumb.
that's true. I would
can't-
I
you can't
I
be
would
that
absolutely
fucking dumb.
believe
Oh,
she's that
Every
dumb.
hallway
believe people
in
do
my
that.
Yeah.
every hallway in my high school had cameras.
Yeah.
Not the classrooms, but the hallways. Definitely some of the classrooms, but mostly it was in the hallways.
yeah.
So
We go back
that's
and
like
forth on the
worst place.
classrooms because everyone's like, "Oh, security," and then someone's like, "And pedophiles."
Yeah. So anyway, I love it. Just hilarious.
Fucking
Yeah.
dumb. Jesus. All right, so we got another Omicron update. Tell us
Well,
about
yeah,
this.
and one of these caught my eye. 44 people on board Royal Caribbean's Symphony of the Seas tested positive for COVID when they docked on Saturday. Now, they don't know how many of those are Omicron, and given that they've been out of circulation for a week or so, the answer is probably not much. But again, this comes under the heading of slow learners, right? Why would you trundle around in a petri dish for a week? This is stupid. So anyway, Washington State Senator, right? Totally anti-vax,
Anti-everything, basically.
yeah,
Yeah.
anti-vaccine mandate, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, he stumbled off to El Salvador and managed to test positive in El Salvador. Talk about dumb.
Yeah,
Folks,
come on.
what are you doing traveling in this epidemic? And
Well,
you've got decent medical here, right? Decent, not great, but decent. So you're going to go to El Salvador,
if you got
get
money.
COVID, so you now can't travel. So it's $30,000
poor
to
people
get a
are gonna die,
medevac flight. Anyway, so apparently he was medevac to Florida, and then we heard nothing for 2 or 3 weeks, and now he's dead. So
Well,
yeah, sorry about that shit, Chuck.
no loss there.
And
And I don't mean that in a whatever way. I mean, come on, people, get fucking vaccinated. And don't fucking travel. Like, seriously.
No, it's the striking just stupidity of this because it's the same as last time, right? We did this
Yeah.
with the Spanish flu.
yeah, we did.
Well,
and kept
the
having the
Spanish
same
flu
problem, and it
actually
kept
had a
blowing up
fucking death
again.
rate.
Yeah. No, but we had the same denialism, the same
Yep.
cannot function in a world where there's an actual threat.
No, I was
Yep.
looking at a meme today.
This is the snowflakes.
I was looking at a meme a little bit ago that was talking, that showed like the COVID map and like where COVID is and stuff. And Florida has very low COVID rates, and it said there's no vaccine mandate, no whatever, no this, no that. Well, how are you still alive? And the little thing in the corner said, have you ever eaten gator? And I think that's hysterical. But at the same time, what people don't remember is that the elderly population in Florida almost unanimously
Is 95%
they
vaccinated.
almost unanimously
We looked that up.
65 plus, right?
Yeah.
65 plus, almost all of them, 95% have the vaccine and most likely have their boosters.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's fully vaccinated. So
Yeah. So
they didn't account for boosting. But yeah.
Yeah.
No, I saw an article today that was talking about how if anti-vaxxers changed their mind completely today and started,
Yeah.
they would not be able to vaccinate in time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, God, get out there, get these shots. They are, they can only help you. There have been minimal, if like to no cases of anybody having problems with this. Just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Just fucking do
Yeah,
it.
your toothpaste has a higher incidence of reaction.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Yeah.
So, if you brush your teeth every day, you're safe to get the COVID vaccine. Just, you're fine.
Well, that's because the
So-
fluoride in your water. Well, something. I got nothing.
No, yeah.
Right.
Well, no, there was an anti-vax politico somewhere who made him stop putting fluoride in a local system very briefly because the
Yeah.
water authority said
The one in
there's
Alaska.
no reason to do this, and he was saying, well, it's made people sick at the plant, and there's no record of that, no complaint ever. Right? It's just
Let's just make
if
shit
you
up
believe
until
one
it makes
idiotic
sense, yeah.
conspiracy theory, it's a pretty good guess that you're going to believe other idiotic conspiracy theories.
Oh, God, yeah.
But while we're at it, former Alaska Governor Sarah Palin said she'd rather die than be vaccinated.
Deal.
Good, good. I hope you do die. You are a terrible fucking person.
Sold to
Oh
the
my
nitwit with the
God.
microphone.
Yeah, no, fucking bitch. Good.
We should
do
not
it,
be saying
do it.
that, but I will admit my first response.
I have no intention of having anything to do with her being killed. However,
I understand.
if she wants
To
to
kill
get
herself,
COVID and die, I am all in for this. You do you, honey. You do you.
Your body, your choice.
Yeah, your body.
Right. My first
On this one
reaction
very
to that.
specific issue.
I do not judge you harshly for this decision. Go for it.
Right.
Go for broke.
That's right. I will admit my first reaction was right out of Men in Black. Your proposal is acceptable.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. All right, tell me about Monkey Revenge.
Oh, yeah,
Tell me
so-
about this. What is going on?
Usually I try to make it a funny one. This I just
Monkeypox?
thought was interesting.
Oh, it better be monkeypox. That'd be amazing.
So anyway, there's a troop of monkeys in an Indian town.
Oh.
And
This sounds bad already.
Well, last month, a pack of dogs murdered an infant monkey.
Aw.
And so the monkeys have been snatching up dogs
Oh no.
and taking them to the top of high buildings and throwing them off.
India should
That-
promote that.
They
That's
have
a little
murdered
bit fair.
250 dogs.
All right, monkeys, you're going a little overboard. Like, I get like going after the dogs that were involved in this.
India has a real problem with dogs. It's
That's true.
a not
Yeah.
small number of deaths in New Delhi annually. So
Well, don't they?
transport them.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of gotta.
Nearly every dog in town has been killed in the primate purge.
Well, at least they don't have to worry about.
Yeah,
you
we would
know,
absolutely do
wild
the same.
dogs
If we woke
anymore.
up tomorrow and there was some new life form, or like cows started killing people,
Yep, there
yeah,
wouldn't be
we'd
any
smoke
cows.
all the cows.
Yeah,
That's true.
So.
I mean, we did kill all the wolves.
especially
Yeah,
in that way.
minimal.
Exactly.
reasons.
Yeah. So I just, for anybody who, was confused about primate violence.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I have a substantial discussion laid up here. Okay.
All right.
Because Republicans are back to their old tricks. So
That implies they went somewhere else.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I say old because this is something they've been doing for a while now.
Okay.
Just like they stole the Supreme Court seat from Merrick Garland with lies, then rushed the approval of Justice Amy Coney Barrett to keep Biden from being able to appoint someone, they're at it again, saying in no uncertain terms that if Justice Stephen Breyer's retires after the 2022 midterms and Republicans get back the majority, they will not confirm a Biden appointee. Biden promised to put the first black woman on the Supreme Court if given the chance. Democrats have gently been attempting to get Breyer to retire before the midterms. So far, it seems he's not having it. Republicans don't care what's right, correct, or fair, and these continued abuses of power are proof. The lie about these rules that they make up as they go to suit their purposes, it's repulsive and it pisses me off that good, smart people follow these shitheads and believe every lie they fucking spit. It's just disgraceful.
I don't know where you
disgraceful.
think there are smart people who believe these things. There are
Because
people,
I know smart people who believe these things, sir, and don't tell me they're not smart because we will get into a fight right now.
anyway.
Thank you.
No,
But-
the vast majority of what you would call smart people who believe that don't believe it for a second, but they want the political power. It's all about the power, right?
For people
And they're
who
willing
have
to
power.
pretend,
I'm
and they're
talking
willing,
about
they're
people who
willing to
aren't
talk
involved in it
the,
at all.
they're willing to talk the talking point, and they know damn well it's wrong, but they're willing to talk the talking point and seek the power. And I will admit that in some cases
I
they
don't agree with
earnestly
that.
believe that it's the right thing to do.
It's the most American view of politics I've ever heard described.
So anyway,
That is our history in one short sentence.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I don't know. No, this is abuse of power. This is how Republicans have always played politics.
Right.
I'm sad the Democrats kept falling for nonsense about, well, it's because of this thing that happens to be true, unless that needs to be some other reason.
Yeah.
No, but
No, it's the pretending that there's a good faith argument to be had.
yeah.
Right.
No, and
No,
there's-
it's been a long time since the Republicans
there's
put forward a good
absolutely-
faith argument for anything.
Yeah.
So
no, they just say, oh well, it's a rule. No, there is no rule.
No.
You can go
Then
back.
they
You
fell
can
back
look.
to claiming
you
it
can
was the
see
and
where-
president.
and they just broke it, so clearly it's not a rule.
Yeah, you can see where the shit started
Yep.
and how it is continued in American politics, where Republicans do not represent the majority of Americans, yet somehow still manage to stay
And it would
in
be
power.
one thing if they were
I
putting
wonder how that could be.
it would be one thing if they were putting legitimate conservative justices on the bench. They're not.
No,
They put a handmaiden and a frat boy on the
idiot.
Supreme Court.
two of them,
So
two fucking.
No,
pieces
Bush
of
tried to
shit.
put a lady who didn't understand your Miranda rights.
Oh God, come on.
No,
How
the
do you not
Federalists-
understand Miranda rights?
Because the Federalist Society is interested in a very specific kind of lawyer.
Ugh.
and it has
They
nothing to
believe
do
that
with
laws
being
are only for the
legitimately
powerful.
conservative. Exactly. It's all about making the country safe for property.
It's the same reason you
And
can get
God help
absolutely
anybody who
smashed in
wants to
Tehran right now.
take a look at what the distribution is and say, guys, could we move a little closer to Mexico in the distribution of wealth?
Yeah.
Because we passed them a long time in the shitbird column.
No, and it just frustrates the shit out of me because, like, you can try to talk to somebody, right, and be like, look, this is what really happened. And they're like, fake news.
Yes.
Like, what are you talking about fake news? Like, this
Because
is what
they-
happened.
Here are the facts. This has numbers.
Because they know what they would do given the power.
And again, it's not that they believe it's fake news. That's their talking point.
Yep.
There's no conscious effort. There's no thought. There's no belief.
I don't
They
know if
know
I agree
it's a
with that.
lie,
I
and
don't
they
know if
love
I agree with
repeating
that.
it.
I really don't know if I agree with that because, to be honest with you, you know, I've had in-depth conversations that have turned into screaming matches with people, and what it is their mind is so warped, right, from
A
the
lifetime of
Republican
powerlessness.
the Republican right-handed views, right? So you're talking Fox News, you're talking what's that other news?
Oh, OANN
Oh,
and
yeah.
Newsmax and
Yeah,
the rest of it.
Newsmax, all
Before
that.
that,
right?
we World News Daily. Before that, yeah, no,
Yeah. All those
These
websites
places-
written in capital letters in crayon by morons. Yes.
But they present themselves as real news.
and were treated as real
And
news
were-
by
yes.
the other. Like they were
Yeah.
allowed to hide amongst the newsfish.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
makes-
speaking of which,
and suddenly
newsfish,
it's become a problem.
it's
and,
time to start saying, right, when you report on something that Trump says, it's time to
They
start
don't
the
even
report.
say when it's a lie. Just start out with it.
That's
Well,
right.
They lied about this
Trump
thing.
Trump lied again
Whoever.
today. Let me list his lies
Right.
for you.
Again, it's
Don't use any of
this
his
is why
audio.
Trump's going to get reelected
Yeah.
because Democrats think that he changed something.
Yeah.
When it was one baby step forward from where we already were. We had done alternate facts already.
Well, and remember that the
Colin
media.
Powell lied us into a war of convenience in Iraq. And damn him forever for that.
yeah. No, like legit, like this is it's just ridiculous, and it really is. It makes me angry in ways that I cannot explain. What
Yes.
what I know that Fox News has done to people that I know, that I used to talk to a lot, people that I love, and it's disgusting, and it's hateful
And painful.
and it makes me mad because I know these
No,
people are
I agree.
smarter than this, but they've been brainwashed.
Well,
Absolutely
they have
brainwashed.
been taught to reject objective evidence with the words fake news. So it's very difficult to bring a fact in front of them, right?
Well, no,
Especially
but-
one that disagrees
but you can even
with,
bring fact in
Yeah,
front
fine.
of them,
and they don't accept the fact.
Well,
Otherwise, they
either-
would change their position.
or they'll say, "Yeah, but that's not what it means," right? Like they'll because
Again,
Fox News managed to twist it in a way that oh well, this is what it really means, and this is the whatever, and so you get a little bit of the conspiracy, but with the fact involved, and so even though they might have the facts, they're already twisted in their head. So even though you bring up the fact, they say, yeah, but, and then they go off on this other tangent.
This
and you're
impressive
like, what the fuck?
imaginary intellectual architecture that means I don't have to change my point of view or think about why I might be
Right.
wrong.
Right.
Because that's what it really, when we look at the science, that's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Is fear
No,
of
and
having to change
again, there
deeply
are
held belief.
plenty of folks on the left who are subject to the same
Oh, yeah.
concerns.
That
Right.
is aggressively true, and maybe that's part of my issue personally with trying to talk to these people is because it's like I'm like, I know that's not true, and I don't know how to explain to you except for to give you these facts and tell you where I found them and tell you the truth of them, but when you're not accepting it or you're twisting
Yep.
it into this other thing that is bad
No,
in
and the other
your
fraction
eyes.
is people who absolutely agree that yes, it's all coming down right now. You can watch it in real time. Like it's going away faster than that doomsday glacier.
True.
And they have no idea what to do, which means, like almost any human stressed, they're going to want authoritarianism. They want a strong voice to tell them what to do.
Yeah.
Do you think that leads them towards fascism?
I
Absolutely.
think Americans are born running arms open towards fascism. It's written into our very DNA in a good way. We build them with the heroic myth. We build them with an action bias. We do.
John Wayne, you've got a lot to answer for.
No, there are like 11 facets of fascist mind. We
Yep.
instill 4 of them just in an American upbringing.
Oof.
That's how you can identify Americans walking around amongst a group of other Europeans based on how they carry themselves.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Right, that we walk around like we own the joint, because kind of we do.
Used to,
Like,
anyway.
You start shit with an American, I have no idea what's going to happen, and nor does anyone else. We might decide this really matters, like all those like not very good doctors in Grenada.
Or Karen, yeah, your classic Karen, yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking of the time that we have used nation level force because somebody was threatening violence towards Americans or
Otherwise,
yeah.
Yeah.
No, we have a history of getting fairly brutal on a whim.
But it's also a very human reaction when things are totally fucked up. To
We wanna
look for a
throw
leader you believe can take you to the next safe place.
Who will tell you to throw all the dogs off the roof?
Okay, well, I'm going to be the first one to say Trump is not that fucking person. It's
No,
just,
no.
The
aggressively-
problem is TV has anointed itself who's going to be the picker
No,
of
Trump
that.
is a totally self-absorbed grifter and nothing else.
Thank
No,
God
yeah.
for that.
Well,
you know, no
what
shit.
I find more hateful, right, than all of this is that, you know, people don't like Trump. Like not all Republicans like Trump, but they felt like they had to vote for him because they're Republican. So kind of sort of a little bit we need to get out of this, you know, party,
They're
you
not
know,
football teams.
yeah.
No,
Party, you know, what's the word I'm looking for?
the problem is the advice is diametrically opposed for which group you want to talk to. Democrats absolutely have to start running as a Democrat at a national level and defining what that term means, because all of our direct advertising does not work. It does not move voters.
And I'm going to go back to say, when you saw the things that Trump said on the campaign trail, if you voted for him, you were not a good person. Period.
I don't.
I have
agree
no
with
respect
that.
for you.
I believe that you know some of these people, you know, we're just kind of brushing it off as well, raised in a different time, whatever, or just you know we're like,
Then they
don't
shouldn't
like
have picked
that.
an ideology
but-
that said, for the good of the many, the few must get punished.
But I
They
don't
believe
like
in an
that,
ideology
But
that-
I like his politics, or I think that you know because I'm a Republican, I
Or
have
that
to
Hillary's
vote.
I don't
worse, or
believe
that-
that's true. I think the attraction to Trump was the cruelty.
It's a demonstration of
In
what a
some
scary
instances,
number
yeah.
of Americans
In some
will do
instances,
with power.
If you voted for
100%,
Trump,
yes.
I have no respect for you
I don't
whatsoever.
think that's every person.
So
I don't
do.
think that's every person. But yeah, no, I believe that a majority of the people that voted for him, yeah, they're like, he's whatever, blah blah blah. So I want you to remember to like, comment, subscribe, follow, heart, whatever platform you're on, whatever way that you like us or can follow us and get more interesting discussions. Please do that. And now we're going to move on to Undeniably Brilliant Discussions with Risen, Teen Vogue Edition, Part 6. I like that.
You know, these are getting out of hand. We're going to have to.
Hey.
We'll come up with a competitive one for tomorrow night. No, that's a good
This free
title.
stuff.
I liked that. I thought it was cute. Okay.
It should be undeniably erudite. Anyway. go ahead.
Flashbang of awesomeness with Risen.
What would be your perfect day? Plan it out from waking to bedtime. Like, I don't think we're gonna do that. But what would be your perfect day? Wake up in the morning, like Pete did.
That's a good start any old time.
Yeah.
Um,
Wake up, move the solar panel.
I want. Yeah, exactly. I want to have breakfast either cooked in the camper, or I want to have breakfast at the dining room at North Rim,
That is good.
the way it was 22 years ago.
No, I don't care about the. It was.
It was
industrial
okay today.
Garbage breakfast. It was fine. Yeah, no, I loved it.
Yeah. So, anyway, then spend the day hiking and walking and taking the occasional photo, which I don't take enough of. You'll have to remind me of that. So, all these great
Someday we'll
photos.
get you a
of-
real phone. A big boy phone.
I have a real phone I'm paying for.
I can't help you with that.
So, right, and then a nice dinner, and half a bottle of wine, and some arguments like this, and
Oh yeah, no, that is fun. Back when we were
Yeah.
drinking a bottle of wine when we were going camping.
yeah,
Oh, that does sound fun.
yeah.
Well,
Let's see if we've got some of those.
Probably.
Yeah, they'll probably have to be edited. We were pretty wild sometimes. So
That sounds like
anyway,
fun. So my perfect day would, gosh, you guys got me thinking now. So I would say that a good day for me would be, waking up, jumping on a plane, okay, going to Florida, and by the evening, getting some yummy, yummy, real sushi in my belly. I love sushi.
okay.
The only place you can get really good sushi is in Florida. Or there's this one wonderful little place that I used to go to in New Hampshire called Kiku's. It's in Nashua. If you live in New Hampshire, go to Kiku's in Nashua and get their crunchy roll. It is amazing. But yeah, no, that would be a good day for me. But I mean, perfect day. That's hard.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll just do good day.
Ooh, Mansion's gonna have a bad day.
What's your perfect day?
His.
Oh, okay, fine. That's cheating.
We have lived that day.
On vacation, are you a relax by the pool type or a get up and go adventurer?
What's a vacation?
You know what a fucking vacation is.
Sure.
I will punch you.
Little bit of both, right?
Mhm.
Because, you've got a day, you go for walks, you get tired, you come back, you got a nice spot in the sunshine, right? Brew a little coffee, sit
Take a
out there.
nap, yeah.
We didn't normally take naps, but anyway. But again, you're getting up when it gets light, and you're going to bed when it gets dark, right? So you probably don't need a nap because you're getting like 10, 12 hours of sleep at night.
Yeah.
Fair.
So
All right, how about you?
Well, I can't say same. That doesn't seem like a good answer. So
No,
I
you
will stay
can't
mostly
cheat off your
alone
homework
around the
anymore.
pool. He was cheating
Okay.
off mine.
yeah,
I'm the one who started with get up and move the solar panel.
yeah.
All
No,
right,
that's where I was headed.
I'm gonna say that it depends. There are times where
Now I was cheating off
it
someone
depends-
else's homework.
No, it depends on where I'm going, right? Like, if I'm going to Florida to visit my parents, I like to go to the beach, relax. I drink a lot more than I should and normally do. I just chill, right?
Yeah.
When, if I go somewhere like to see things, I want to hike around, I want to walk around, I want to go here, I want to go there. I especially like aquariums. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Boy, did you pick the wrong part of the country to live in?
Well, when I go to Florida, I get to visit all the aquariums. There's the Tampa Bay Aquarium. There's the Clearwater Aquarium. There's there's another aquarium out. It's a lesser known one, but they take in sea turtles, and you get to see them as they get better, or when they just came in and they're
Yeah.
sick, and they tell you why they're there, and it's really fun. I'm kind of a mix of both. And if you ever say, "Hey, Risen, let's go to an aquarium," I'm never gonna say no. I'll get up early
Okay.
in the morning, and I'm a late sleeper. I don't like mornings. I'm a night owl. But yeah, no, I adore aquariums. That's my thing.
Yeah.
So, yep, so that's me. Are you a superstitious person? You go first.
No.
No,
No.
I am aggressively. Who's the best movie villain in your?
Well, let's go back to superstitious for a minute.
Okay.
When I was in graduate school, I had a cross mechanical pencil that was presented to me at some point in my life or something. And that was all I ever carried, right? And I managed to look after it for 4.5, 5 years, whatever it was. But somewhere in my mind was the feeling that that pencil was what knew all the physics. And if I didn't have that pencil, and I lost it once for 3 days, and I was legitimately perturbed about that. So anyway,
Yeah.
I still have it somewhere.
No, the reason why I will say I'm a superstitious person is because you guys know me. I am.
Not me. Who the hell are you? What are you doing here?
What is my motivation? Salvation. No.
Who breaks into someone's house and makes them record a podcast? The fuck is wrong with you, monster?
You love it. Shut up. You both love it.
Yeah. And it puts the podcast on the internet, or else he gets the hose again.
Hey, it's not me in cages anymore. It's you guys in cages. Yes. Dance, my puppets, dance.
No, I haven't.
When she first got here as a
COVID,
when she first got here as a COVID thing, we had her in various progressively larger COVID cages.
Oh yeah, no, it was hysterical. Every
hilarious.
pigeon coop, every chicken coop that we could find, we put me in and took pictures.
Yeah.
It's priceless. So anyway, no, I would say I'm a superstitious person, and I think one of the things that kind of dug this in for me when I was younger is, you're not supposed to run under a ladder. It's like bad luck. Well, me and my brother were playing around, and we ran under this ladder. I don't remember why, but we were running around the house, and there was a ladder, and for whatever reason, we ran under it. Now, after playing for a while and chasing each other around the house, eventually I tripped and fell, and there was a glass coffee table that I put my head through.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I would definitely say head injury linked to.
Yeah, it explains a lot.
I actually have perfect eyebrows because of a scar that I have on over or under.
I think it's over, yeah.
Yeah, over my left eyebrow. So I've never had to get my eyebrows waxed, but it was hysterical because I ran to get my parents, and I ran and hid in a closet, like in the back of the closet under all the clothes, because I thought I was going to get in trouble. So my mom follows the trail of blood and is freaking out because, head wounds bleed like
bleed.
shit.
Yeah.
So she follows the trail of blood, and she finds me, and I'm crying because I think I'm going to get in trouble. And she's like, "You're not in trouble, but we need to go to the hospital."
So I have a hint for that, because I had a head injury once in an automobile accident, and I was unconscious for like 15 seconds, and I wake up and there's blood everywhere, all over my shirt, and so forth. Get helped out of the car. They keep saying, "Do you need an ambulance?" And I don't know how ambulances work. So anyway, I kept saying, "No, I'm fine." Right. But I did call my father, and he said, "No, we should go to the hospital. I'll come get you." So anyway, while I was waiting for him, I went into the dry cleaner that was right there and washed my shirt. And it was in the Southwest, so it dried very quickly. And so I went to the hospital, and I sat in the waiting room for the ER for about an hour and a half. And my father finally went over and said, "By the way, he's got a fairly substantial cut up in his hairline. You might want to look at it." And they said, "What?" And he said, "Yeah, he's got a nasty, jagged cut up above his hairline." And so they take me into the ER, and they take off the bandage that the police put on.
Yeah.
And this young MD steps back, and he looks at me, and he says, "Did you wash the blood off?" And I said, "Of course I washed the blood off." He says, "You don't ever wash blood off before you go to the ER.
No, you go in as bloody as you can possibly be, because that's the only way you get attention quickly.
So I got 14 stitches with no anesthetic at all because it had already swollen, and the anesthetic would have increased the edema and would have made the stitching, first of all, much harder, and second, much less successful.
Oh gosh.
So
Well,
yeah, they weren't that bad.
all right. So who's the best movie villain?
Tim Curry.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Who the hell did Tim Curry play?
Like every
devil.
villain ever. He played the devil. He played, Rocky. I mean,
I'm sorry, I have to explain to you the concept that
not
actors
Rocky,
have
but,
names.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
this is why it doesn't work for
Yeah. Who was the best movie villain ever? The Joker.
which Joker?
The obvious one.
Jack Nicholson. Yes, you are my favorite person ever. I love Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And he plays them just enough off, right, that they don't send small kids screaming from the room.
Yeah.
So
and I adored that. That was my favorite movie growing up. It's why I never watched any of the new Batman movies, because I was like, fuck that shit. Jack Nicholson's my Joker.
Yeah.
I definitely like what's his name as a actor. Like I've seen him in the what was that medieval times one? Fuck my brain. Anyway, but no, he's good actor, but Jack Nicholson's my Joker, so done. End of discussion.
Hold on, before you ask the next question.
No, I need to answer mine.
Oh, I thought you
guys
were saying
like to
Jack
skip
Nicholson.
me.
Fine, go ahead.
No, I'm not saying Jack.
I have discovered mine is not Jack Nicholson. I can tell you exactly who it is.
Oh, tell me.
Oh, in Fantasia,
Oh,
Yeah.
the monster with the cape,
Yeah, Chernabog.
Chernabog.
that was enough to send me screaming from the theater when I was 4.5 years old.
Fair. Chernabog wins.
Yeah,
I
my
like
parents
that.
had to take me home. I was so scared.
Okay, so
And I remember it.
fair.
Sure.
The person who I think is the best movie villain is Maleficent from the new Maleficent movies.
Yep.
Because the old Maleficent is cool, but I love the live action Maleficent and how they play that character. She is fucking perfect and it fits, right? The old one, she was just kind of like this mean person who went around and did bad things. This one, they actually fleshed her out, right? And they gave her purpose and reason for why she did the things she did.
Okay.
Which was just fabulous to me. So
Okay.
well played at Disney. And the actress who played her was just fucking phenomenal. I love it.
Cool.
I love every piece of it. If you had to describe yourself in only 3 words, what would you choose? And what words do you think your friends would choose to describe you? You two can't cheat off each other for this one. So who wants to
You
go
should have
first?
sent him out of the room.
Yeah.
How would my friends describe me?
So both. So if you had, so let's do you first. If you had 3 words to describe yourself, what would you use? Or choose in this instance.
I can do it in 1 word. I'm a physicist. That's it.
Barnabas, bank
You don't
keyword.
find yourself interesting or
I
Yeah,
think
but that's
that
contained
all
there in there,
comes
yeah.
with the physicist.
I'm telling
know
you
how to
you're
think.
wrong.
So.
You need more like
Oh, no, I've met lots of people with PhD in physics who shouldn't have had them.
okay, so that's
Okay.
my point. So
Right.
give us 2 more describing words. With your physicist.
I'm an actual physicist.
Actual physicist. Okay.
Yeah.
Can we squeeze another word into there?
Me, actual.
I, comma, actual physicist.
Fine.
God, you guys.
No,
are
but
just
that shapes
terrible at
that
this game.
having learned that way of thinking, of approaching the world, right? Which is, and there, you don't have to have a PhD.
Stop smirking, asshole. You are enjoying this way too much.
Oh, you
Sorry,
You don't
let
have
me
to
continue.
have, the PhD in physics, I think, frequently gives people a way of looking at the world that's very successful, which can be summed up with, this shit was made by some human being, and I can figure it out, and I can understand it, and if I have to, I can fix it, right? And this absolute confidence that thought and experimentation will yield accurate results,
Yeah.
period. And it shapes everything. So where's the data, right? Is there any data on this? What have people said about this? Do I believe that? No, I don't believe that. Why do I not believe that? What does the data say? Oh, yeah, the data says they're stupid. But it's a,
No.
and I hadn't realized that until you asked the question. So cool, thank you. Are we going to have asshole go now? Oh, and what would my friends call me?
So you wouldn't, use the word adaptable or humble
We already
or
used all those
courageous
words.
or enchanting or diligent. You wouldn't use any of these words.
No.
Um,
Kind of conceited prick.
I think
would.
I try to be, and as many members of my family have pointed out,
Yeah, one time.
it's more a work thing than a family thing.
That's
I try to lead gently. I give credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
Again, so,
You wouldn't put stubborn in there anywhere? No.
well, and that brings up the other
Kind of be
half.
fun to just lob words at you when it's your turn.
So that brings up the other half of what I am, which is I'm a company grade infantry officer. I know how to lead.
So officer and physicist.
Yeah.
All right, so that's at least 2 words. We're getting somewhere.
There's an and in there. That's the third
There you
word.
go.
Fine, I'll let it slide. Now, how would you think your friends? So we don't really count as friends, but like your friend
That was
group
mean.
would
I would
describe
hope
you-
that my friend group would describe me as a competent and thoughtful leader.
competent, thoughtful leader. Perfect. I love it. Okay, you.
Son of physicist.
Jesus, no.
There's a lot of that in him, though.
Don't
And I can't tell you
defend
how bad
him,
it
sir.
pisses me off when we're doing something and he comes up with a better way to do it. Of course, that's because I'm working on it and he's standing back
Adaptable,
going,
lazy, creative.
yes.
How would your friends describe you?
Asshole, asshole, asshole.
Okay, another word aside from asshole.
That asshole.
Troublesome, perhaps.
Oh, yeah. Irksome, even. Disturbing.
Contradictory, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not my friends.
Depends on whether you're saying something stupid.
You'd have to ask him. Barnabas? Yeah, he doesn't know either.
Barnabas doesn't have a name for you.
Yeah. You're an asshole.
I assume he calls you dad
I assume he calls me
or
asshole.
mom.
Or fucker. There's a lot of fucker.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
'Cause-
That's because he knows you better than
well,
most
then
people.
he sits up and bites me.
Yeah.
For like no reason. I was just
Well,
you know,
I'm
shaving
assuming
him
that's
that
your
off and
history.
tickling him.
Yeah.
I would say I'm magnificent, adaptable, and
Wish I'd gotten to do it with a thesaurus. in my hand.
Interesting.
Yeah.
there's another word I want to use.
Deep. If
Reliable.
you use that.
No, yeah, that's fine.
Fine.
Yeah, no, I'm no, not reliable, loyal. Loyal
Okay.
is the word I would use.
Cool.
And then I think my friends would describe me as whirlwind.
Calamitous.
No, definitely loyal for people who know me really
Yeah.
well. They know
Yeah.
that I will do anything for anybody. It doesn't matter time of day, night, whatever. I've been known to, wake up at 2 a.m. because a friend called me and was way too high on something and just needed to be driven around for a while. I am
Yeah.
that person, okay? I think they would also describe me as outgoing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't tend to be like aggressively outgoing if I'm in a group that I don't know people. But once people start talking to me, like I really
We
can.
would definitely describe you as outgoing, and I have to tell you that way back when, at the University of New Mexico, my mother encountered a program, a very simple program, that asked you a series of questions, and there were like 9 questions, and the answers were yes, no, or do this or do that or whatever.
Right.
And so she put in her answers, and the computer program told her that she should be a coral snake. So, yes, which are
brilliant.
never seen. They spend their whole lives under rocks.
Fair.
And there's a lot of that in me. I am not outgoing.
All right. What would your dream vacation consist of?
We did that already.
No. This is worded slightly different. I feel like.
Fine.
I mean, I'll have to double check.
I would
my
take
notes.
yacht and roll all parts of buildings.
You would fly our pirate ship called
And
Yacht.
pirate some buildings.
Oh, like in
Yeah.
the Brian. Oh, what's the movie? British fucking movie. Where they took the ship, it was a building, and they'd pull up to other buildings and they'd aggressively take over it.
Ah, yes.
Yes, the life in whatever Brian or something. What the fuck was it? Oh, this is gonna drive me.
I like that you just
insane.
going in further the wrong direction.
Wasn't it called Mortal Engines?
No.
That's the new one, I
No,
think.
it was an old British thing by the
Okay.
people who did Why Brain? Nobody Likes You. Hold on, I have to look something up.
Yeah, that's what
What
I
is
thought she
it?
was talking about.
Yeah.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It was done by those people.
Okay.
No, closer to his thing, but yeah.
Where the cities eat each other.
Mm-hmm.
No. This was
Yeah.
like a bunch of old people were in a building, and they'd pull the building up along other buildings, and it would be like, it was supposed to play out the concept of an aggressive takeover of another company. God. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Please comment, because my brain cannot.
And tell her what she's talking about.
That's awesome, because I know it now.
You know what I'm talking about. What's the
I do.
movie?
The Crimson Permanent Assurance.
No.
1983 swashbuckling short done by the...
Oh, yes. No, you're right. It was a short, but it was at the beginning of another movie. Okay, yep. Nope, that's right. You're correct.
Usually.
Thank
So
God.
let's see.
I
Anyway.
think so.
I haven't got to answer yet.
What'd you get?
No, neither have I, so
No.
please, go,
No,
sir.
you go.
But if you haven't answered, go ahead.
I don't really yet. I'm still working on it.
Okay, so
Go.
you think about it while I
Get to
go.
go.
Yeah, seriously. All right. So
No, I
you
thought
think
she
about
was moving on.
Oh, that's fine.
I want to take my father and whoever else wants to come with me to Mount Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu. That is my dream vacation.
That would be fun, wouldn't
Is
it?
to go there with my dad, because I promised him, there was a few years ago I was looking up prices and stuff. It's not super expensive, but it would be just a super fun trip. I think my dad and I were watching a commercial, right, from Mount Machu Picchu, and I was like, oh, that'd be so cool, right? Because I'm really into that kind of stuff. Like, that's really my thing. And my dad and I, he raised me on like National Geographics and all that shit, right? So I'm really into that kind of thing, and so is he. So that would be my dream vacation for sure. It's easy. Do you have yours yet?
Yeah. I would like to go back to Greece and Crete.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
If you go to Greece, I want to go to the place where they recorded Mamma Mia. That's where I want to go.
That was in Greece?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was in Greece. It was on an island outside of somewhere in Europe. I was pretty sure it was Greece, but now you got me questioning myself.
Ah, yes.
What?
I want to go to Hotel Casa Verde.
Oh, where's that?
Costa Rica. It's the one with the monkeys.
Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah.
And then I could get monkeypox.
Yeah.
Okay.
Woe be to the monkeys.
Gotta love your dreams. Wonderful. Okay. Do you most often follow your heart or your head? I'm gonna say aggressively follow my heart, because
I usually agree.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I can think of a handful of times when they didn't.
Yeah.
But it was generally, this is potentially a really bad idea. Do you want to do this? And at least
Quick
once
yes to
the
continue.
answer, no, the answer was it would make a big difference to somebody, and I fucking did it.
Yeah.
But
Well played.
Yep.
I went with mine usually agree.
Are you competitive? I'm aggressively competitive. I can't help it.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I'm too busy winning.
No, even against my son, I don't pull punches. I
mean,
will,
at some point I'll find someone
when
who
we
can
play
compete with this.
when we play like Magic the Gathering, I will play my best decks against him. I'll even be nice, because he doesn't know how to. He doesn't know how to play my decks, so he'll be like, "Well, I want to use your."
So you really are just making an infant punch it. You're doing the why you punching yourself to a wee baby.
No, but it makes him feel better when he actually does beat me.
That's true.
And it's usually because I have a bad hand, so it's not really that he won. It's that I got cheated, but I let him win. It's fine in those instances, because I can't help it. But if I can help it, I will own
No,
his
you're right. You
face.
really are competitive. I let him win when he wins.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that's how that works.
When he legitimately beats, when his hand legitimately beats mine,
Then you let him
obviously
win.
He wins. But
Yeah, like, I mean, because what's the other choice? Oh, no, adult rules. Bah!
no, and it's funny because he'll I have two really good decks, and that's my worm deck, and I have basically a direct damage fire deck for
Oh,
you
yeah,
Magic
yeah,
the
yeah.
Gathering nerds that I'm sure are listening to this
Yeah.
right now.
All you people hanging out at Mount Grog.
Oh, shut up. I love Magic. It's my favorite. It's the one thing that it's one of the many things that I miss
Yeah.
that's in my storage unit right
Mount
now.
Grogs.
But anyway,
It's-
he would always ask to use my worm deck because when used appropriately, oh, you can own so many faces with that deck. So you'd be like, well, I want to use that, and then I'll just use my direct damage deck and just
Yeah, take that, worms.
before he even gets a worm out, he's at like 5 life. And I'm like, good luck, buddy. It's amazing. But no, that's just good parenting, I feel.
I'm competitive in a very special sense. I used to play basketball at lunch every day. And the guy I played against was so much better than me. It was insane. And I loved playing because I got a really good workout and I knew that anything I got right. And finally, one day I beat him.
Ah.
And I realized, because we're walking in together and all the folks at the plant would say, well, who won today? Because they knew who was going to win, right?
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, said he did.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized he had played a really good game. And I had had a better one. And yeah, it was a fluke of luck. But I got him, beat him at his best once. And,
well played, sir.
well, but that's, I don't, if I'm going to be competitive, if I'm going to want to win, I'm going to want to win when the other team did their absolute best.
Yeah.
And I still won. Where
I
I
don't want to
actually
jump them on their worst
demonstrated,
day.
right.
Yeah. You want to beat them fair and square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do I dislike losing? No.
Probably where I get my overdeveloped sense of fair play.
That's true. And you do have, I'm not
A
sure it's
wild
overdeveloped, but I know.
It is not awesome to have in late stage capitalism.
That's true.
Okay, I just want to remind you, we are full grown ass adults and we are having way too much fun with these Teen Vogue questions. Once again, well played, Teen Vogue. All right. So, what's a tough experience that you learned and grew from?
Officers Candidate School.
Fair.
Yeah. Probably when I broke my shoulder.
Ooh, yeah. For me, it was my divorce.
Another good choice.
When I divorced my emotionally, mentally abusive ex-husband, that was really hard because he literally had me wrapped around his little pinky finger because we started
That's hard.
dating when I was very young. And it was very hard for me to untangle my life and the person who I was when I was with him from who I am, like, as a person on my own. And I definitely learned and grew a lot from that. And he was physically abusive at times too, but that's not something I talk about as much because I know that my abuse is not nearly as bad as what some women experience. But he was definitely mentally and emotionally just a terrible, terrible person. So anyway, that is an experience that I learned and grew a lot from, like just going through the divorce and handling all the emotional baggage and trying to discover myself again. So
No, yeah.
What's your relationship with your parents like?
Quiet of late, I guess, for you.
No. Yeah, I know. This is kind of a bummer.
Yeah, no. It's... Thanks, Team Vogue.
Well, let's say, what was it like for you? Of course?
I would,
Again, Teen Vogue, so most of them probably still have parents, maybe.
Teen Orphan is next door over.
I wonder if
They
there's
ask way different questions.
a teen orphan folk.
I think my relationship with my mother was pretty standard, but my father had a huge impact on my life.
In good ways?
In very good ways.
Amazing.
I hope that my father is proud of me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I believe it.
He told me he was anyway. So
Did he?
yeah.
Okay.
No, see,
So I get to tell a father story.
sure.
Do it.
So my father ran for office once, and what was then called the Gay and Lesbian Alliance at the university invited him to a meeting of the candidates.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they invited all the candidates to the meeting.
Yes, they invited all the candidates. He was the only one that showed up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which meant that when he walked through the door, the local news team with the camera and the microphone simply fell in on him.
Right.
Oh, because they were there only in case the place burned down.
Yeah, or in case some candidate said something really stupid. So my father walked around and he talked to him and so forth. And they came to a semi-formal question and answer session. And one of the young men asked my father, so we're talking like 92, asked my father where he stood on gay marriage. And that's when they started the cameras. And my father watched them start the cameras.
Of course.
And he thought, the hell with this. And so he gave the only answer there should ever have been. He said when two people had decided to commit themselves to each other for life, that he could not imagine what interest the state might assert to oppose their marriage.
Fucking beautiful.
Local candidate comes out for gay marriage, film at 11. So, anyway.
What a way to twist that.
I don't think they intentionally meant to, but, you know, given that no other candidate showed up and so forth, it was an awkward question to be asked on camera. The young man was sharply criticized by several of his friends for doing that. And so my father went and intervened in that and said, no, this is, right, it's a good question, it's fine.
But this was 5 years before the puppy episode of Ellen, the first, right, when America first saw gay kissing
really
on TV.
Was. Right.
And
it was when Ronald Reagan ran the first time, which is probably earlier than 92. My father ran 8 points ahead of his national ticket.
Damn.
And 2 points behind his Republican opposition.
Rough.
So, well, nobody ever runs above their national ticket. That never happens.
That's amazing.
So
how about you? What is your relationship with your parents like?
pretty good.
we just don't tell you all the things we think.
Well, yeah, no, I'd assume.
You know. Yeah, it's pretty good. We are proud of him.
Fair. Well, and again, like, this isn't a, like I understand you're proud of your son, but, like, whatever.
Yeah.
So, I know it's kind of awkward to ask that in front of one's family. I will say, full disclosure,
I can tell you if that were awkward, we wouldn't be at this table together.
Fair.
Okay.
But I can say that my relationship with my parents is kind of an amazing roller coaster. Okay. I love my parents. I adore them deeply. They are deeply ingrained in who I am as a person, right? They raised me that I can do whatever I want, be whatever I want. Although sometimes when
they want to argue about that,
when that crossed lines that maybe they were concerned about. I wanted to take a woodworking class in high school, and my mom was like, "Oh, girls don't do that. You probably shouldn't do that." So we had a bit of an argument about it, and that year I didn't take it, but when I got older, I took it. So I was able to eventually take this class, but because my mom didn't think it was appropriate for a young girl, and so. Do you see what I mean? Like they are very contradictory in terms. Like, every year every season, me and my brother were enrolled in a sport. Okay. So for spring, it was usually baseball. For fall, it was soccer. For winter, it was basketball. And spring was also baseball-ish type things. So until I was too old for baseball, because it was a girl, they wouldn't let me keep playing. And then they wanted me to go to softball, and I was like, I'm not gonna play softball. That's a wussy sport. And you know, because I was kind of raised like a tomboy. So anyway, it goes to, and I was never really good at baseball. I was a really good basketball player because of my height. I actually wasn't too bad at soccer, but I certainly wasn't the all-star. Not I could keep a ball on the right side of the field, but certainly nobody was putting me in their all-star list or, picking teams and stuff. I was never there. But as a whole, I would say I have a really good relationship with my parents, but there are moments where it can be awkward, right? So there are times where maybe we disagree on things and just can't come to a happy medium. And my mom tends to nag a lot, but she knows that. Yeah. So that's my relationship with my parents. We have had a wonderful night. I think this has been a lot of fun, very enlightening, very, very, very cool. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow, heart, whatever service you're listening to us on, whether it's podcast, YouTube, or whatever. Be sure to follow us on Facebook. Okay, we have BoomerRexTonight on Facebook. You can also look for me on RisenLadyHeathen. I share all the same things. The only difference is I'm starting to kind of cut back on what I'm sharing on my RisenLadyHeathen for BoomerRex. I'm just sharing the YouTube now because it's just become so much with the podcast, the YouTube, and now we have a Twitter. So I'm trying to pay attention to a lot. So
you can do it the interwebs.
So go to our BoomerRex. You'll get our Podbean update, which also updates our iHeartRadio, our iTunes, and all the other podcasts that we listed the other day that you can find us on. Cool. So BoomerRexTonight is what you want to look for on YouTube and anywhere where you get your podcast, where you stream podcasts. So you can find us, and remember to do all the things, hit all the buttons, send me a private message on our Facebook page. Assholes staring me down. It's making me uncomfortable.
I just lean forward.
We love
Quick, while she's distracted the internet. It's really cool. Goldman Sachs just reduced their outlook for the U.S. GDP next year. So I'm guessing somebody's going to call Joe Manchin.
And they cited Joe Manchin as the problem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
anyway,
not like he wanted to.
We love you all. Thanks for hanging out with us again tonight, and we'll see you back tomorrow night on BoomerRexTonight.
Good night, Internet.